name is Leslie.Knott, and yours?
How are you? My name is Jack.
Good, good. I know I got you to sign the confidentiality agreement, but I wanted to go over a couple of things. I'm a mandated reporter, so anything that's said between us will stay between us, but I want you to know that I will have to talk to my supervisor about it. I may have to bring it up in discussions in meetings with colleagues, and I also have to report if you tell me that you have sexually abused or physically abused a senior citizen or a child, and if you plan to hurt yourself or someone else. Okay? So what brings you in today?
Okay, so I have lost my flash drive. So let's preface this by saying I get anxious. I'm very anxious, socially anxious and otherwise. So when things are normal, I'm pretty cool, I'm pretty good. But recently I lost my flash drive, and my flash drive has my life. So I'm sweating, I'm anxious, I have all my work on it, and I don't know how I'm gonna function moving forward. So that is the truth. So I am hopeful that you can kind of help me maybe see some good in this in the event I don't find my flash drive with everything on it.
Well, I've been in situations before where I felt like, this was the worst day ever, and I'm not going to overcome the situation, so I understand where you're coming from. We all get into situations where we feel like, oh, this is it for me, and it's just a bad day. But hopefully we can retrace your steps. We can think about, okay, where did we have it your flash drive last, and we can retrace.
Well, that and I guess part of that is the whole anxiety thing. So growing up, I grew up in a big city, so I guess people oftentimes joke when I say that I'm kind of anxious about a lot, socially anxious or just anxious in general. They would say, well, you grew up in a big city, why are you anxious? And I always say, well, I just always been that way, Nothing happened that I can recall. But like even with this instance, losing my drive, I'm super anxious now, because now I'm like, if I don't find it, I'm gonna have to try to remember everything.
Right.
And probably better than most, nowadays, because we have those things, we don't remember everything.
Yes, we depend on them.
Right. Yeah. I don't even know my wife's phone number. So,
because it's in your phone.
It's in my phone. So I say that to say, backtracking. So I've traveled a lot. I had a professional conference I went to. So I was trying to think, okay, did I leave it there? It's not there. Then I did some other traveling, so I contacted the hotels to see if they were in the hotels. They're not there. Then I had a rental car, so contacted the rental, and there's still no clarity on it. They don't have anything on lost and found. But I'm thinking, it's a small flash drive. Maybe it fell under the seat or something. Right. But of course, the car is already rented out, so we got to wait till it gets back next week. So that's what the kid is doing. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm very stressed. I'm like, it is. You feel like your life is over. Like, shoot, man, And then I do have some personal stuff on there that, you don't want everybody to have access to, business-wise and stuff. So that's what I'm dealing with right now.
And a lot of people feel anxious, and we can talk about some resources that can help, with your anxiety, and it's good to talk about things and things of that nature.
Well, that would help. Yeah, that'd be helpful. I mean, what do you, excuse me, what do you recommend? Just the anxiety in general, because most times I can kind of handle the pressure. I'm pretty good, pretty cool that way, I guess, to use the term. But there are instances where the anxiety kind of takes over, and I just kind of shut down, or I'm like away from folks. So how do you deal with stuff like that?
Do you think that when you're in those moments, it would be good to have someone that you trusted to talk to about it?
I guess, but sometimes I'm personal too. So our society, whatever, you're a man. I was raised to always, handle it, suck it up, don't whine, don't complain. So granted, I am married, so of course I could talk to my wife, but sometimes you don't want to even burden them with some of the issues, because they have their own, we're all, we all adults, we have our own issues, and I try not to burden them or people like that. Henceforth, that's why I came here. So that is one option. One option obviously is to talk, but then that's why I came to talk to you, because hopefully, you could provide me some good resources, at least early on to start, you know,
Right.
dealing with some of these issues that I've always had. You know.
Right.
The current issue is more of a crisis, but the anxiety has always been there.
Right. We can also talk about, you know, other ways of putting your information somewhere besides a flash drive. We could hook you up with sometimes I started a separate email, and I would just email myself to the separate emails just in case one day I could just log into that separate email and I have all the emails that I've sent myself.
Which is good. I like that.
I've learned it to be very helpful.
And then I guess for another reason, a colleague had mentioned or recommended the Dropbox app. I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
I don't know. I've used it in the past, but then you have to update that.
Right.
So like you know the work you do on your flash, if you don't update it immediately, then that's not current. And
Right.
So I think the email might be an option. And the reality of it is just backing everything up. It's tedious.
It is.
But when instances like this occur, you know,
It puts your mind at ease and helps your anxiety.
Yeah, because like I'm super like frantic right now. I'm like, what am I gonna do? So you know, I don't know, and I have so much research on there, so we'll see. But those are good. Do you have, I guess, any other kind of ideas just for the anxiety part? You know, maybe I'm always busy. My downtime usually is over breaks. So, you know, I like to veg out, watch B-rated movies, stuff that, you know, just to let my brain vegetate.
Right.
Do you have any suggestions as far as trying to unplug sometimes and getting away from this? Like, kind of what's your take on this?
You bring up a good point. You know, like your only time to let your mind rest is during breaks. Maybe it would be important to like sit down and like make out a schedule. Like, where could I find more time besides just my breaks at work, or you know, when I get home and taking a break, like just relax. You know, you mentioned you have a wife. It's important to go home and de-stress with her so that she understands that she can de-stress and you can de-stress together. Like you said before, she's a busy lady as well.
Right.
So, you know, it's important for you two to find downtime together so that you can connect as well, and that you two are also connecting and spending time together.
Okay.
Since you are both two busy people. And then,
Right.
you know, that could help anxiety as well. Just knowing that someone's there.
Right.
Like,
right.
you know, we connect well. I know she's there if I need to load on her
Right.
what I have going on, even though I know she's busy. I know she's there.
Well, yeah, that's a good suggestion, and we do it sometimes, but I guess I can do it more. You know, you just always feel like there's not enough time in a day, right? Yeah. And it's just like the burden of obligation. So you just like, oh, I got this to do, I got that to do. And I remember years ago, an old supervisor once told me, this is before the emails. That's how far back I go. But once the emails came about, she used to always say, you know, don't look at your emails after work.
Right.
Now, granted, you know, in the field I was in at the time, it's kind of better said than done, or easier said than done.
Right.
Because, you know, I worked, you know, in law enforcement and probation at first, and things happen all the time. It doesn't shut down. It's not an 8 to 5 kind of thing.
Right.
But she always recommended, don't look at your emails. Don't look at your emails on the weekend. And that does help because you do unplug and you don't think about nothing. But then sometimes, even here, you know, I do remind, you know, students, I don't look at the emails and this and that on the weekend. But sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
What's on there?
So then I have another colleague who she doesn't put the work email on her phone. So she's like, if she doesn't open up her computer, she won't see. So that's a good. I was like, But then, you know, I like quick access.
Right.
So.
Right.
But those are good ideas. Those are good suggestions. I will definitely take those under consideration and try to work towards that. You know, creating the schedule, because I am rather anal. You know, creating the schedule and ensure, just like exercise, you got to fit that in, right? So, you know, maybe fitting in some time where I can kind of de-stress, listen to some jazz, relax. I have older children, so I don't have to worry about little snotty kids, you know, and all that stuff.
There you go.
You know, they're self-sufficient, fortunately. So I'd try that and see how it goes. And I guess the next time we meet, we can kind of process, see how it went.
Yeah, I can look up some resources that are near you about like maybe some stress management and stuff like that.
Okay.
If you're interested, we
Definitely.
can talk about that.
Definitely.
I can look into some more advice about the email thing that I do. I've been doing it for a while, so I have to like go back and collect my thoughts on that.
Okay.
And I can set up something for you and help you set that up.
Okay. Well, I look forward to it. I guess we'll set up another appointment, and then we can kind of proceed from there. But I'll guess immediately I'll try to implement some of the stuff you suggested, and then in our next session we could talk about the emails and all that stuff and see how we put that on paper.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.